Hello to all my friends. Me and my friends are here to present on the topic 5S in lean construction, and we are going to talk about basically the 5 S's in the lean, what 5S is all about. And first, we are going to start with the history of lean, what is lean, and like the basic stuff. So, I'm here with my friends Manish, Vandip, and Prabjot. So, we'll get started with what basically is lean construction before dwelling into the 5S part of the lean. So, now we are going to talk about what basically is lean. So, lean, as we all might know by now, we all have our definitions of lean. So, lean basically refers to a philosophy and set of practices aimed at improving the efficiency, reducing the waste, and maximizing the output value in a project. And the term lean was first coined in like 1993. Uh, Basically, friends, lean construction doesn't have any single clear definition because it's always evolving. It's like an ongoing process which basically aims at improving the project output as a whole. So now we are gonna learn about the advantages of the lean, and we'll talk about the advantages on the next slide. So what are the advantages of the lean? So the first and the foremost is cost control. Like, cost is the most important factor in any of the projects. Lean helps in shaping the project in such a manner that every activity adds a value to the final product, and it eliminates many excessive tasks such as waiting times, the excess paperwork. Also, Lean focuses on target costing, which is done keeping in mind the client's budget, which is really important. Another advantage of Lean is the improved collaboration because the Lean emphasizes on integrated project delivery, where all the stakeholders, such as the owners, architects, engineers, and contractors, know their part of the job, and this reduces the room for misunderstanding. It enhances the communication between them. The There's accountability set for each task, and there are short meetings, hurdles held after a short duration to discuss the progress, any problems, and this helps in like improving the overall output. The third advantage of the lean is the higher customer satisfaction. So there's high customer satisfaction when we use the lean methods as the project is delivered on time because scheduling is accurate, there are reduced delays, and most important in this part is the transparency for the client because the lean emphasizes on constant communication with the clients, which to update them on the progress of the project, and it results in fewer surprises. Like if there's any problem going on and it is communicated to the client immediately, so he or she knows, and there's no such big surprise like, oh, I didn't know about this part. So that really helps in lean, and so the customer satisfaction is better and better resource utilization. So, lean focuses on following the sustainable practices, and the workforce which is deployed on any particular project is based on the actual needs of the project rather than any rigid pattern of scheduling which needs to be followed. Uh, like the resources are managed in such a way, like if you need a certain number of things, you have them. If you don't have them. So these are the few advantages of lean. There can be few more, and so next we'll discuss about the principles of the lean construction in the next slide. The first and foremost principle for lean is respect for the people. Uh, Fostering the culture of trust and collaboration and mutual respect among all the project participants is a principle that lean upholds. This boosts the morale among people, increases their productivity, and most importantly, it reduces the conflicts. Also, it helps to promote the safety and well-being of the workers at the site. The next principle on which lean depends a lot is the optimization of whole process. Uh, it means considering the whole project as a whole because breaking a project into many parts is important, but to combine them and view aligning the goals of all teams, including the architects, engineers, contractors, suppliers, is also important. It focuses on a holistic approach, which is equally important. And the next principle is the focus on flow. It ensures the smooth and uninterrupted transition of work across different stages and teams throughout the project. The goal is to maintain a steady pace of work without any unnecessary interruptions and without going too fast about things, which creates a chance of things getting wrong, and it balances the workloads, and so the resources and the tasks that needs to be done, they move more seamlessly. The next important principle for the lean construction is the scope for continuous improvement. It encourages the teams to constantly analyze and define their processes. They it focuses on promoting a culture about learning and adaptation to new techniques. In this digital world, we can use the data and the performance metrics to track progress and areas that need improvement. Uh, because of lean, organizations have become more competitive by learning from each previous project, and they're always looking for a scope where they can improve during their budget, their building, and all that stuff. The next is generating value in a project, high value in a project. Uh, Lean focuses on setting your priorities straight and focusing on those to deliver the maximum value to clients. The It really emphasizes an early collaboration with the clients to define the project requirements and to basically know what their expectations are, and to make clear the terms like if things don't go our way, to explain them basically all the aspects. If things don't work in a certain manner, then what could happen or what should we expect, all that stuff. So basically the 5S of the lean are: first one is sort, second one is straighten, third one is shine, fourth one is standardize, fifth one is sustain. We are going to discuss about them in the brief in the upcoming slides. So let's dwell into the first one, which is sort, the first step of the 5S process. So sorting basically refers to figuring out what tools, equipments, and materials that are necessary and they will be required at a certain point moving in the project. And so it's basically sorting out things that are of high importance in the project. It also involves a process called red tagging, which means the items that are not of immediate use, or maybe we will need them in future, but not at a particular time. We tag them and we keep them separate at the location, or we move them at the other location depending on the project, the budget factors. They can be later evaluated if we need them. If we need them, we can transport them back or we can use them. Red tagging is basically done to protect the equipments from any potential damage. The construction sites, like, there is high risk of damage to things, anything may fall, anything may happen. So it's better to take a step to protect the equipments. So sorting is the first S of the lean, and it basically refers to sorting out things. Next, we'll move to the second S, which is straighten. So in this slide, we are going to talk about the second S of the 5S process, which is straighten. The term straighten basically describes the act of setting up the workstation, tools, supplies, equipment in a way that is sensible and is accessible. Uh, the basic idea is to make sure everything has a home. This cuts down the time on looking for items, streamline processes, and boost the overall productivity. This stage is to make sure that there is no needless movement and the workplace is like neat, organized, and productively maximized. So setting a things in a particular manner, like which trade needs which stuff, and it's set at a particular place where they will work, and so this reduces the chances for any errors. And this now we are gonna dwell into what are the objectives of Straton in 5S? The key objectives for Straton, the first one is of them is workflow efficiency. It basically discusses how to streamline the processes that can lead to a faster completion times and reduce the unnecessary steps during the whole project. Uh, we can highlight the importance of reducing delays and increasing productivity by optimizing the task sequences. Like if we have everything sorted out straight and everything is set to a place, it makes the task easy for all the people working on the site, and so they can work in high morale and they can, because they know everything is straightened up for them, so they can basically come at a site and work to their full efficiency. The second objective is to organize the tool organization part. It emphasizes on how proper tool placement is done that ensures everything is easily accessible and safely accessible to all. This minimizes the time that is wasted for searching the tools here and there, and it like we can consider showing examples of good tool storage systems like shallow boards or labeled storages for each particular part. And the next one is to eliminate the clutter. There can be a lot of mess on a construction site, so to when we talk about how clutter can obstruct the operations, create confusions, and the most important part, it increases the safety risk. If there is more mess, there are more chances of any mishappening to happen on a construction site. And this show before and after scenarios of to show the before and after scenarios of the cluttered plus clean workspaces. It affects the efficiency. The next one is visual management. It explains how visual aids like signs, color coding, floor markings can improve the worksite organization. In fact, the color codings, all the signs, they are must at any construction site because there are many sites of high risk, medium risk, low risk. There are some sites where no one should access at a particular time until and unless they are worked properly. And we can use examples from lean manufacturing principles where the visual controls are so critical to for the smooth operations. The next one is for the enhanced safety. This points out to a well-organized, clutter-free workspace, which significantly reduces the hazards. This highlights the connection between safety and efficiency. The fewer accidents mean less downtime and the better morale for the people. Next, we are going to move on how to implement the Straton. So, the basic steps in implementing the Straton at any construction site. The first one is make use of visual management resources. It basically describes how visual tools such as diagrams, charts, or dashboards, they provide at a glance information that keeps everyone on the same page, and they helps in tracking the progress and identifying the bottlenecks in the workflows. The next one is arrange workstations. So this basically explains the importance of efficient workstation layouts. Highlight This highlights how organizing a workstation to fit the workflow and the user's need can enhance the productivity, reduce their strain, and improve the focus. Like for someone to survey a site, if his or her workstation is set properly according to his needs, everyone has his or her way of carrying out the things. So if the workstations are properly set, it makes their life easier. They can work with a better focus, with a high morale. They can work for longer durations. So this makes the life of everyone's easy. The next way is to evaluate and modify. Evaluating things at a particular period is really important to know where you're standing and to modify according to those. So, is there any improvement? Is there any scope for improvement? If there is, what are the steps that needed to be taken for the improvement? And this is basically to encourage a reviewing current systems at regular intervals, and for a better optimization, for a better efficiency of the project, what are the steps that needs to be taken at a particular moment. And the last one is to determine the crucial components. It basically is discussion of the it is basically the discussion of the needs to identify the key elements in any process. Like if there is anything going on a construction site, so what are the key steps involved in that particular process that will majorly affect the success of that project? What are its effect if it's not done properly? So keeping in mind all those stuff, and by focusing on these crucial components, the resources can be better allocated, and there can be more efforts put towards that particular part. So that will reduces the chances of any mishappening and improve the project as a overall. So we can discuss the some basic examples of Straton. These are not some news. We have discussed them previously in our previous slides about the Straton part, the organization of the workspace, the workstations, to ensure the proper labeling, and there should be a proper designation, proper area for any particular tool. Like for a total station, there should be a particular area. For any other trade stuff, there should be a particular area. Its safety should be assessed properly and at regular intervals. The next example is the visual management, putting the color coding system, visual markers, flags, and notifying in a particular distance if there is any dangerous site, open excavation ahead. That makes so this basically is to enhance the safety, the storage solutions, like using dividers and organizers to sort out the things, as we discussed in the first S of the lean sort part, that sorting out things is really important. The first step of the 5S process, to know what things are of immediate use and to know what things will be used in the future, and to store them at a particular place so that they are easily accessible when they are needed. The next part is the inventory management. Use the FIFO principle, first in, first out, according to the expiry date, keeping in mind what materials can should be used before a particular date. This reduces the cost, and basically the idea is to manage the things those has to be consumed first. So moving on, my friend Manish will explain the next S, which is shine. And so yeah, Manish will take over now.
Let's talk about the shine phase now. By ensuring all the tools, equipments, and other objects are carefully cleaned and examined, shine phase significantly improve the workspace. This phase also related to normal maintenance, which directly connect to total productive maintenance, that is also called TPM. The shine phase is really important because it gives operators more control over their workspace, which make them feel empowered and engaged in their work. When people have a say in their environment, it not only boosts their morale but also improve their overall productivity. Moreover, the shine phase help us spot issues before they become major problems. For example, while cleaning, operators might have noticed that there are some fluid leaks, material spill, and even sign of wear, such metal shaving or tiny cracks in the machinery. Identifying these issues early on allow us to address them quickly, which help us to avoid bigger disruptive later. Now let's talk about how to implement the shine phase effectively. First, grab your metaphorical spray bottle and let's clean our workspace. A clean environment is a crucial for maintaining efficiency and productivity. Next, we need to find the source. If we notice any leaks, spill, or unexpected mess, don't just wipe them off away. Just take a time to investigate the cause, which will eventually help us to prevent these issues from happening again in the future. Finally, we don't forget to inspect everything after cleaning. Regular inspection are crucial for catching any wear and tear early on, ensuring that our equipment stay good and functional. Let's talk about the example in Shine in work practice. First is to clean equipment regularly, that ensure that all the equipments are clean thoroughly on a regular basis to maintain good performance and hygiene. Second is to check tool condition. Regular condition check. Look for the sign of wear and tear. Replace any tool that are damaged. Third would be disassemble larger object. For larger equipments, it take time to disassemble it. Periodically to inspect the condition of each and every equipment that are atomically small, like very small. Uh, this help us to identify any potential issues before they become bigger problem, because in the bigger equipments we cannot see through the smaller issues that are happening. The fourth would be the examine root cause. If we notice any area that is consistently getting messy, investigate the root cause. Don't just wipe off the area or fix the problem temporarily. Understand why it's getting dirty can help you to prevent the future occurrence.
So now we will move on to the fourth part of the system, that is standardize. So standardization aspect of the 5S focuses on making the first three S, that is sort, set and shine, on a constant routine. So in a so the next is how do we implement standardize. So there are several things that by which we can implement this thing. The first one is document in pairs, like one team. So here are some examples of the standardize, like making checklists for implementation and audits, include image and other basic graphics for training material, like it would lift. So the last 5S is sustain. So the sustain stage makes sure that 5S is constantly used. So it turns the standardized 5S procedure into activities that are constantly finished. So, so how do we implement sustain? So sustainability can be implemented by creating a proper schedule. So scheduling 5S principle by role, shift, and frequencies, teaching through demonstration. So each member of, so here are some example of the sustain, like having a meeting with the demonstration to go over the
So now, to wrap things up, let's quickly go over what we have talked about. Lean construction is a smart way to make project more effective, cut down on waste, and deliver more value to stakeholders. By focusing on people, improving processes, and always aiming to do better, we can make better use of resources, control cost, and work together more effectively. The 5S system helps in keeping workplace organized, efficient, and safe. It simplifies tasks and encourages ongoing improvements. If construction projects follow these lean principles and apply the 5S method consistently, they can achieve better results, increase productivity, and long-term success. So, this is the end of our presentation regarding 5S in lean construction. Thank you for your time and attention.